Hello, I'm Bailey Weese, and I am doing my author illustrator video profile project on Dan Santat. Dan Santat was born in Brooklyn, New York. He's mainly known for being an illustrator, but you'll see as I go through the presentation, he's also authored and illustrated some books too, just solely as both the author and illustrator. Probably Santat's most popular book is The Adventures of Beagle, the Unimaginary Friend. In 2015, he won the Caldecott Medal for this book. As I go on in the presentation, we'll look a little more at that book. For this presentation, I chose 5 of Santat's most popular books. I went ahead and just cited them all on this page as well, and we'll take a little closer look at them here in a minute. So I chose The Adventures of Beagle, the Unimaginary Friend. That was published in 2014. And then I chose After the Fall, which was published in 2017. The Aquanaut, which is his graphic novel, and that's very new. He published that in 2022. And then I chose Krankenstein, which is the oldest of my selections, and it's from 2013. And then I chose The Cookie Fiasco from 2016. So on this side, we're going to be looking at The Adventures of Beagle and After the Fall. The top 2 pictures are from The Adventures of Beagle, and then the bottom 2 are from After the Fall. I really enjoyed The Adventures of Beagle. I thought it was really precious. So it takes place on this imaginary island where like imaginary friends are born, and then like children like adopt an imaginary friend. So all of Beagle's imaginary friends on the island get adopted, but not Beagle. So he sets out on a journey to the city to find his own friend, and at the end he does, and he's finally given the name of Beagle. I just thought this was a really cute idea. And it was just kind of heartwarming to read. After the Fall is about Humpty Dumpty. It's kind of Santat's take on what he imagines happened after Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. So after he fell off the wall, he was overwrought by a fear of heights, really struggled to try new things and get back on the wall. And this is just kind of like a funny version of Humpty Dumpty struggling to just exist again. The target audience for those is probably somewhere around 3 to 7 years. And you'll see just in like the pictures I provided, the color schemes are very similar. They both have sort of fantastical elements, sort of imaginary lands, made up characters, just like Santat's made up take on what happened after Humpty Dumpty, those sorts of things. And they both use humor as well. For this slide, we are going to be looking at Krankenstein, the Cookie Fiasco, and the Aquanaut. Krankenstein was really cute. It was just about this young boy who turned into what Santat called Krankenstein at like every inconvenience. So he's mad about waking up early. He's just kind of mad at the world. And through friendship, he finds to sort of like be able to laugh and take things a little less serious. And I kind of thought it was Halloweeny, so I chose that one. The Cookie Fiasco is maybe a little more different than the other ones that I focused on for Santat. It's one book, it's the first book in an 8-part series called Elephant and Piggy Like Reading. So this book is educational and is meant to teach children about division and how to divide like 3 cookies equally between the 4 different characters. So that was kind of his first like educational sort of example that I found. The Aquanaut is different because it's his graphic novel, and it follows this girl that just lost her father at sea in Aqualand. She meets Aquanaut, and he's the friend that she desperately needed. Again, you'll see sort of similar color schemes, um, just sort of like, again, like the fantastical elements of, foreign fantasy lands and that sort of thing. And to wrap up, we'll just talk about his sort of similarities in all of these. So you'll see in all of those books that the color schemes were very similar. They use a lot of muted pastel tones and has a lot of emphasis on just the orange and yellow colors. The illustrations are kind of a mixture between like animated and realistic. You'd realize like in the Frankenstein and Aquanaut slide, like the bottom half of the bodies are kind of normal, and you'll sort of have like fantastic elements on top, sort of like made up mechanical horror story type character feel on like the heads in Frankenstein. Um, and all of these books have some sort of like fantasy kind of I don't know, fantasy land, fantasy character of like half Frankenstein, half boy. Um, and so you'll see that sort of element all throughout. Santat is a really big fan of using humor. All these books are like pretty funny, cute, whimsical. So he doesn't take them too seriously. Um, and so I thought all these books sort of had a kind of common theme, a sort of common feel. And as I read them, I could tell that they were all sort of authored and illustrated by Santat.